Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to explore a fascinating topic: how to take things slow in relationships, focusing on the psychology of building lasting love. In this presentation, we'll discuss practical ways to develop strong, meaningful connections by packing ourselves and understanding the psychology behind lasting love. So let's get started and discover how taking it slow can actually lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. In today's world, where instant gratification is the norm, the idea of taking things slow in relationships might seem a bit counterintuitive. We're often told to chase that rush, to dive into whirlwind romances, grand gestures, and those exhilarating moments of chemistry. But here's the interesting part. Both relationship psychology and real-life experience show us that rushing too quickly can actually hurt the connection you're trying to build. It's not about delaying forever, but about understanding why slowing down can deepen your bond. So, what does it really mean to take things slow? Why does it matter in the context of a healthy, lasting relationship? And importantly, how can you do it without losing the spark or turning the romance into something dull? That's what we're going to explore today. Taking things slow isn't about withholding affection or playing games. It's really about being intentional with your time and your contact. When we talk about packing our interactions, it's about finding a healthy rhythm rather than rushing into everything all at once. Instead of spending every waking moment together, it's okay to give each other space and let things develop naturally. You don't have to text all day, every day, or rush into constant sleepovers. By managing your time and contact thoughtfully, you create a foundation of trust and comfort. This approach aligns perfectly with the overall idea of building a strong, genuine connection, one that's sustainable and meaningful over the long run. When it comes to building a meaningful connection, I believe in gradual intimacy. That means I don't rush into escalating physical or emotional closeness too quickly. Instead, I give space for trust to develop naturally over time. It's about being deliberate in how much I share and how much I allow into my life. I don't give someone full access before I truly see who they are beneath the surface. In essence, taking things slow isn't about delaying or avoiding connection. It's about building a relationship with awareness. It's about making sure that each step we take forward is intentional and grounded in genuine understanding, not just momentum. This approach helps create a stronger foundation, where trust and respect grow together organically, and both people feel safe as they deepen their bond. Let's talk about the risks of moving too fast in a relationship. You might wonder, why slow down when love feels so urgent? Well, rushing can actually lead to some hidden costs that can hurt us in the long run. One major issue is emotional overinvestment. When we invest a lot of time and intimacy early on, it can make it even more painful if things don't work out. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket too soon. Another point is the loss of identity. When we get swept up in a new relationship, it's common for people to give up hobbies, friendships, or personal goals. While that might feel natural at first, it can create resentment later on when you realize you've lost parts of yourself. Then there's people-pleasing. If we rush into a pattern of saying, "Whatever you want is what I want," we miss the chance for our partner to really understand and meet our true needs. That can create a false sense of harmony that's fragile and superficial. And finally, fast-paced romance can make it easy to overlook red flags, deal breakers that should really be addressed early. When we move too quickly, we might ignore warning signs until it's too late to do anything about them. Overall, relationships that develop too fast often lack the strong foundation needed for real intimacy. Building that foundation takes time, patience, and awareness. Taking it slow isn't about delaying happiness. It's about building it in a sustainable way. When we slow down, we gain clarity. Specifically, we can tell the difference between genuine attraction and the fleeting dopamine rush that comes from attention, affection, or sex. This helps us make more authentic connections. It also allows us to maintain balance in our lives. We can involve our partner without sacrificing our careers, friendships, or passions. This creates healthier, more stable relationships. By packing our interactions, we're also better at spotting unhealthy or harmful patterns early on. This prevents us from falling into one-sided habits that can be damaging in the long run. And perhaps most importantly, taking it slow helps us discover true compatibility. We can see if this person genuinely adds value to our lives, or if we're just filling a void. This approach is rooted in the idea of delayed gratification, sacrificing short-term intensity to achieve long-term fulfillment. It's about making mindful choices that lead to more meaningful, lasting happiness. All right, so let's talk about communication as the first step to slowing down. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is going silent or pulling back without explaining why. And that can really feel like rejection to the other person, which isn't helpful at all. Instead, what's really important is clarity. Having an honest, simple conversation can prevent a lot of misunderstandings. For example, saying something like, "I really like you, and I want us to take things slow. I want to get to know you deeply before rushing into something serious," sets a clear tone. It's not about pushing someone away, it's about being intentional about growth. Open communication helps build trust and understanding, which are essential when you're trying to slow things down thoughtfully. Let's explore some practical strategies for taking things slow in relationships. First, it's important to stay affectionate but measured. Showing warmth is key. Don't act cold or detached, because affection keeps the bond alive. At the same time, setting boundaries helps pace the relationship healthily. Next, managing your time wisely is crucial. Instead of spontaneous, endless hangouts, make intentional plans. This approach prevents the relationship from snowballing into dependency and keeps things balanced. Another important point is to channel your anxiety. Often, we rush because we're afraid of uncertainty. Instead of clinging, try grounding yourself through friendships, hobbies, and personal growth. This helps you stay centered and reduces the impulse to rush into things. It's also vital to be intentional rather than purely emotional. Emotions can guide us, but we need to ask ourselves if we're pursuing the relationship out of genuine alignment or just fear of loneliness. Respecting space for desire is another key idea. As Esther Perel notes, love rests on surrender and autonomy. Giving each other space allows desire to thrive and helps maintain attraction over time. Be mindful before you text. Constant messaging can accelerate intimacy in an unnatural way. Sometimes, silence creates anticipation and keeps things balanced. And finally, be mindful about sex. For some, sex deepens the connection. For others, it can cloud judgment. Knowing your emotional wiring is essential. If sex tends to bond you quickly, delaying it might protect your clarity and help you stay true to your feelings. All these strategies are about fostering a healthy, sustainable pace, so you can build genuine, lasting connections without rushing ahead. Taking things slow in love isn't about holding back or limiting the connection. Instead, it's about really amplifying the love over time. When we don't rush, we get the chance to see our partner for who they truly are, beyond the surface. This helps us build a deeper understanding and genuine connection. It also allows us to stay true to ourselves. Rushing into things can sometimes lead to self-betrayal or losing sight of our own identity, but slowing down keeps us grounded. We maintain our sense of self while growing together. Most importantly, taking it slow helps us create a relationship that's balanced, where passion is present, but so is stability. This kind of love isn't fleeting or based solely on infatuation. It's about cultivating trust, respect, and real intimacy, which are the foundations of a lasting connection. Ultimately, slow love is deep love. It resists the fleeting high of infatuation and focuses on the long game, building something meaningful that endures over time. So, as we wrap up, I want to emphasize that slowing down in a relationship doesn't mean you're moving backwards or taking too long. Instead, it's about packing yourself intentionally so that love can truly develop in a healthy way. When we take this approach, it allows for greater clarity, stability, and mutual respect to flourish between partners. In today's fast-paced world, patience in love is almost like a quiet superpower. It's what helps couples build something lasting and meaningful. The ones who tend to stay together are often the ones who understand when to hold back, take a deep breath, and let things unfold naturally. This idea ties back to the overall theme of our presentation, building relationships that are resilient, genuine, and rooted in understanding. Sometimes, the biggest strength is knowing when to slow down, trust the process, and let love grow at its own pace.